So, moving into our last series of the night, then. This is going to be PvT.
Nice.
Hopefully, these games are, not too quick. No 4-minute games in this matchup.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, so spawning here in the left of Tower Cross, we have our green Terran Fox from Scientology vessel.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of the map, we have our yellow Protoss from Team Beast, Probe King,
Yeah.
aka
AKA Gorgo.
Gorgonoth. Yes. Alright. This TR. Maybe they have a bit of lag or something.
Well, it's 12 for us, so maybe that's what it was in game. Who knows? Or worse. Oh, it must be really laggy for the players to be talking like this.
Maybe just Gorgo doesn't like a low turn rate or something. I know Gorgo's not a fan of PvZ, and he's had some PvZs lately. He said he likes PvT more, so maybe he's decent at this matchup. We'll have to see. I don't think I've seen him play some PvT yet. Still a little bit of chatter going on here.
I mean, I guess it makes sense here, right? Like when it's lagging, there's not much to do. You gotta make a small talk.
Hopefully the whole game isn't like super slow and laggy for these guys or something. I guess the supply depot was probably a little bit late here for Fox because he was supply blocked on his first SEV for a while. Nothing too big.
Huh, so just looking at the placement of his first barracks, it seems pretty likely that Fox is going to be going for a 1-rack CC fast expand build. So we'll see how Gorgo reacts to that.
Yeah, usually if you see this as Protoss, you can take a quick third expansion, like even quicker than normal. But if you do that, you have to be wary that Terran can punish it with the push and earlier push. I know Dark Matter likes to do that to me when he racks DCs. I'll go for that quick third, and then he'll punish me with a timing. But I'll have to see if either player opts for that. Gorgo scouting kind of here, or it's like both players actually scouting in the wrong direction. They're going to scout their opponents last. Pretty standard so far. I was going to say I don't see the core anywhere though.
Oh,
But
he has
it's,
it. He has
it's
it.
kind of hidden. Yeah, it's hidden down there at the bottom of the map. Kind of hard to see with the overlay and stuff.
All right. So I know for sure by going for these types of builds, it does make. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, there's a pylon up here.
I was gonna say when you see your opponent 1-racks expands, you have the option of doing some really aggressive all-in builds. You can proxy like 2 or 3 gateways, build like 6, 8 dragoons when the Terran isn't expecting it, and just bust their bunker, right?
So he's probably gonna proxy either some Reaver or DT tech up here.
DT
I imagine.
tech.
Okay, yeah, DT. So he is gonna hide some DT tech. Let's see if Fox gets in and notices. Like, as Terran, if you're scouting the Protoss at this point and you only see one pylon, you should be like, okay, what's up? Normally, okay, 2 gateways and 1 pylon. Like if Fox looks around, it's like, okay, you're not getting goon range. You only see 1 pylon. Protoss must be doing something fishy.
Yeah, for sure. Like 1 pylon in the base, that's a red flag, a huge red flag that some shenanigans are going down. For sure.
Yeah, and Gorgo's actually upgrading attack upgrade. Now I'm sure he's going to cancel this once he gets the SCV out, but he's doing this to try and hide the fact that he's got tech elsewhere. So Fox will see the core spinning.
Yeah.
Pretty sneaky stuff from Gorgo, but Fox scouted all the way around and only saw 1 pylon still. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, the timing of the eBay or the academy is going to be crucial. I don't know. I mean, unless he throws it down pretty soon, the Temple Archives is about 75% done. DTs are going to hit in like a minute or so. So
yeah, I would like to see him throw down that eBay, not seeing okay, there's only 1 pylon for Protoss. There's still only 1 pylon. In Gor's base.
Yep.
Yeah, he's playing like super greedy with this too. He only made 1 dragoon, even though he has 2 gateways.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's fair because like a Terran that goes 1 Rax expand, like what are they gonna be aggressive with, right? Like 4 Marines, they're not gonna do anything. So this seems pretty smart actually by Gorgo. He's just going for like pretty much the fastest possible DT.
And then we don't have any reaction yet from Fox actually.
I don't see anything that can deal with.
He's got no eBay. He's getting siege upgrade and a siege tank.
Yep. So no mines to stop DTs even. Yep.
So we might have a short game here.
Yeah.
This could just be like another really quick game. Just die to a DT. 4-2.
I mean, just looking at the situation. Okay, so the academy is halfway done, but I mean, it feels too late. Like I think 1 or 2 DTs are gonna do critical damage here. There's already 2 DTs out.
We'll have to see. I mean, the DT is definitely gonna hit before the scanners are done, but he will have 2 scans available to try and kill this DT. If he sends the DT in, okay, looks like he's going to do it now.
I think the smartest thing would be to just go for all the units. Kill the tank, kill the tank.
No, right now I'd be killing that scanner.
Yeah, that's actually true. That'd be better.
Send 1 DT to target the scanner, have 1 DT killing SCVs at the tanks.
Oh man, and he stopped at 2 DTs. I think if he just like at this point, if he just spammed a whole bunch, that would have been a lot better for him actually.
Yeah.
Like, this DT isn't doing anything. It could have been.
He's actually blocking the scanner with SCVs now too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be able to scan here. Okay, he does use one of those scans.
Run out of the scan. Run out of the scan.
He's got the DT blocked. Oh no.
Nice.
Okay, so both DTs survive for now, but he has another scan available, and he killed them both. Oh, but the bunker had 11 HP. 1 more hit from those 2 Dragoons, and then the bunker would have gone down.
Yeah, so Gorgo, I mean, if he's gonna go for this build, right? Like he's assuming that the Terran's not gonna have enough scan, so just make a whole bunch of DTs or split them so that because the same scans, like we're able to kill both DTs. Like they just scan one area, they're all just sitting there.
Yeah, for sure. Like if he had split those DTs, if he had 2 more coming in, like Terran would have no scans right now, and he would still have DTs in the base, killing SCVs or.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by Gorgo because he rushed for fastest possible DT, and then he only makes 2. So it's kind of like I don't know. It seems like it was a big mistake on his part, and now the econ for the Terran is just too good. He's gonna be able to just roll over the Protoss.
Yeah, those DTs definitely didn't do enough. Like. Had he made a couple more DT follow-ups like you were saying, he could have done a lot more damage to the Terran. He could have done pretty critical damage to the Terran. Like, the Terran wasn't ready for that at all. But now that, the DTs are dealt with, he's got, a couple turrets, a couple more scans ready, and Gorgo's just now getting his expansion up. I like the Terran's position a lot more. He's actually ahead in supply right now, too.
And you never want to be in that position. Yikes.
It looks like Fox is putting a few mines around his base, maybe worried about like a DT drop follow-up or something.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense. And he does have a bunch of speed vultures with mines kind of moving out. All the goons for Gorgo are just sitting at the front.
Oh no.
So if these vultures just run around, they can do so much damage.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to happen too.
Oh man, and look at this. So Gorgo only now decides to build another DT.
And it was actually scanned there by Fox.
Wait, how did he...
he was able to kill it too.
What was that?
He scanned it.
OP.
He scanned like the front of Gorgo's base, just as the DT was walking out, so he knew it was there.
This is game-ending damage, man. Yeah. Fox
I mean,
played really
Gorgo
well.
was already behind.
Yeah.
Economically, he's just getting even further behind.
Right.
Like, this is going to be really hard for Gorgo to come back from.
Yeah, and this is why actually, after a certain point, you don't want to have your Dragoons sitting at the net like that, because this exact same thing will happen, right? Like speed vultures are just gonna run by and harass the crap out of you. So just pull your goons back and block this.
In this case, if he did have those goons out front and he saw the vultures run past, like throw up a pylon wall pretty quickly.
That's true too, yeah. In that situation, that would have been probably the best thing he could have done. but now he's about 22, 25 supply down compared to the
Yeah.
Terran.
His economy is almost nothing. I mean, he has 3 probes sitting at his natural. He's no mining at his natural at the moment. He's just started now.
Yeah,
And
which
pretty low
is
saturation in the main too.
which is pretty unfortunate for Gorgo. He had a build order victory, but you know, some rough decisions were made, and he ended up being on the short end of the situation.
Yeah, like honestly now if Fox just needs to go for something like a 5-fact and he'll be able to run over Gorgo, and it actually looks like that's what he's doing.
Yep.
Or
Adding
no,
up
he's
to
actually got up to
6.
6 facts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, once these factories kick in, I'd just like to see him push out and end the game, honestly. I mean, Gorgo invested so much in tech.
And he sees it. Fox scouts the tech.
He finally scouts it, yeah. He invested so much in this tech, and he invested, like... and he lost so many probes to those vultures. Like, he's so far behind right now. I don't know what he can really do to get back to it.
So he's going for DT drop, right? But, I mean, this was kind of, like, blocked a while ago. At this point in time, it's 11 minutes. The Terran has, like, 2 full scanners. You definitely don't want to be DT dropping this late in the game.
Oh, no. He's sending the OB out now. First OB to kind of see what the Terran has. Maybe you can see the mines try and do some DT shenanigans around them. But, I mean, he's got good coverage. He's got a few turrets. He's got scans available.
Yeah.
I think Gorgo knows he has to do some kind of economic damage, and maybe that's where these DTs are coming in, but I don't think he's going to be able to do enough with them. It's too little too late at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 30 supply down from the Terran, and normally like you'd want to see it the other way around, where Protoss is like 30 supply ahead or something at this point, so...
Yeah, so at this point, if Fox just A moves, I mean, there's not much Gorgo can do.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he could just unsiege all his tanks, move across the map, and Gorgo would be dead. But it looks like he's opting to play it safe. I mean, just keep getting further ahead, take his third base.
He tried to mind drag the DT, but he had just scanned. Terran had just scanned, so it didn't really work out in his favor.
Kind of interesting or nice moves by Gorgo here, trying to pick off some units where he can, maybe get a few tanks or get a couple good mind drags, try and catch up that way. But well, I mean, Terran's getting ahead in bases. You never really want to be in that spot as Protoss,
Yeah,
having
Fox
the Terran
is playing this
be
pretty
ahead of you in
solidly,
bases.
for sure.
Going DTs is against my better conscience.
No, it was actually the right thing to do. He did.
It was a good, I mean, it was a good idea.
Yeah.
It worked. Like, Fox didn't notice. I myself was really hard. Fox didn't notice or that there was only one pylon in the Protoss base.
Yeah.
So those DTs could have done so much more. Just 2 more DT follow-ups, and I think Gorgo would have won the game. But
Yeah, but it was a good effort. I mean, the game's not over, but at this point, all Terran really has to do is just unsiege and attack.
I mean, if Terran decides to continue to be defensive and not press his advantage, maybe Gorgo can try and catch up and get back into the game. But he's so far behind, it's going to be pretty hard for him, I think.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what this SUV is doing. I thought he was going to take a 4th or something, but kind of chilling.
Yeah, Gorgo's on 4 gateways, while the Terran is on 6, going up to 7 factories. And you want to be ahead of gateways. You want to have more gateways than Terran has factories. So this is looking really good for Vox. I think he's probably looks like he's just going to be waiting for a 2-1 timing.
He already has the 2-0. Yeah, really fast upgrades for him. And the +1 armor plating, it's going to finish in 20 seconds.
Yeah, so imagine, or I hope when that finishes, we just see him push out across the map. That is the timing. Oh, and Gorgo's got himself supply block now too.
Yeah, 60 supply down from the Terran. This is... No one wants to be in this situation, to be honest.
What is this? We got carriers coming up. 3 Stargates and a fleet beacon being built. I guess Gorgo is going to try for a 2-base carrier. He doesn't really have the gas for all of this. to build 3 carriers at once. And he's about to mine out of his main. He's taking this hidden base too. Well, he's just kind of not sticking to one thing. It just seems like he doesn't have a game plan or know where he wants to go. He's just kind of, okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to take a base, I'm going to build a bunch of Stargates and some carriers and hopefully win that way.
Yeah.
But no, like Fox has his 2-1 upgrade. He's, you know, at the 180 supply, which is, you know, about the magic number where you want to move out.
Right. He should really be pushing out soon.
Normally Protoss would be maxed by now in a standard game, so I mean Gorgo's just really far behind where he wants to be at this point.
Yeah, we're looking at max Terran versus 120 supply Protoss.
Yeah.
And there's no iteration or combination of events that can make it so that Terran loses in this scenario.
Yeah, the only thing is if Terran like never attacked and just stayed on these 3 bases the whole game and let Gorgo max and take the map or something. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Terran is pushing across now with this, you know, really scary looking mech army.
We're looking at 2-1 upgrades versus absolutely zero upgrades from the Protoss. And it's pretty key if you're playing against a 2-1 push that the Protoss player... Oh!
Good to see this probe transfer too. He transferred every single probe.
Yo,
from the
dude,
natural.
Gorgo can't catch a break, man. Gorgo
got
can't catch a break.
0 probes mining at the natural. He transferred literally every single probe.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I guess he knew this base was gonna die? Oh, man.
Okay, we got 2 carriers out now.
That's... Honestly, versus 2
more
carriers,
interceptors
all these
coming.
units can just A-move, ignore the carriers, and still kill everything.
Yeah. Looks like Gorgo's gonna try one of Shoop's moves here and go for some kind of a counter. He's gonna run into a few mines. Oh, okay. No obs with this army, so.
Yeah,
the mines.
This definitely looks like a Shoop move, yeah. All the units are dying to mines. Tragic. Yeah, this is just too much.
Yeah, like he's gonna lose everything in the main here. He's sending like half his army back, like this, you know, he's gonna have enough to defend whatever Gorgo's throwing here, and just kill Gorgo's base at the same time, and there's gonna be nothing you can do.
But I guess, like I said, like we've mentioned this a whole bunch already this game, Snipe, but I think a pretty key takeaway is to understand like the goal of your strategy, the goal of your opening, and dedicating to it, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
This game could have been so different had he just made 4 or 5 more DTs, had he killed the Comsat when he had the chance.
Even just 2 more DTs, honestly. Yeah.
Could have been huge.
Yeah, so as soon as these units are dead, I imagine we'll see Gorgo tap out. His hidden base here has been discovered too. It's just getting killed. Unless he's gonna wait for the elimination, I don't know. He's got no units and nothing to make any more units. Maybe he's hoping these 3 carriers can do it. Oh, okay, there's the GG. Well played by Fox. I mean, he handled the DTs, was able to max up after that, and just run over Gorgo pretty easily there.
Yeah, it was quite nice. It felt like he was pretty calm in that situation. Like, for me, if I was the Terran player in that situation, I'd be freaking out, right? Like, there's DTs, oh my god. But he played it cool.
For sure. Yeah, back to what you're saying, like, just know the point of your build. I think that's a lot of things. You're kind of transitioning from the B team to A team kind of level. That's a pretty important thing. Like, okay, you know what build you're doing, or you know maybe the order of buildings you want to get, but know the reasoning behind your build, like what you want to accomplish with your build. So if you are doing DTs, you want to know, like, okay, with these DTs, my goal is to, you know, not let the Terran scout them, right? You want to kill the scanners and then kill like the units and the SCVs kind of deal.
Yeah.
Make a few more so he can't do anything. So, or like, you know, just whatever your build is. If you're going for a two hatch build, as Zerg, for example, you want to be aggressive with those units because you're putting yourself behind economically.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, it's pretty. I can understand, like, when you're in game, it's definitely a lot harder to be remembering all these concepts and trying to be logical because you're just so focused on dealing with what's in front of you. But yeah, definitely, if you can remain calm and deal with things properly, it's pretty good.
Sure. All right, let's get into game number 2 here. See if Gorgo can bring it back. See if he does something different. I imagine we'll see him do something different since he's, didn't win with the DTs, and he said,
Yeah, he
he
felt
was,
guilty from DT rushing, but that was pretty funny.
yeah, he said he didn't really want a DT rush or something. So maybe we'll see something a little different.
A true Protoss never feels guilty for DT rushes, man.
All right, so interesting map, 2-player map. It can definitely lead to some different openings. There's options for cheesing, he said, but if Terran walls off, it could kind of null your cheese and make your cheese worthless.
Yeah, this is the type of map you definitely want to be proactive on as the Protoss player, because if the Terran can just kind of walk across the map, they have really easy access to siege your net, and you definitely don't want to be in that situation.
Also, you want to be able to kind of end the game, not necessarily early, but early-ish. If it gets into a situation where both players get half the map, which is easier to do on this map, like you can get into a map split situation where both players just have half the map. In this particular matchup, that favors Terran a little bit more because they can trade so efficiently with their tanks and vultures and mines. So
yeah, but regardless of that, I don't think we're gonna see any sort of weird, cheesy early game openings. We have the depot first, we have gateway first. Nothing too crazy, nothing too aggressive from either of the players.
We'll probably see a little bit more standard game coming out of Gorgo here.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see his PvT in a straight up macro game.
For sure.
I'm sure it sounds like he's not too used to doing those types of proxy DT rush type sort of deals. So, I mean, as I've said before, like, if you're good at doing one thing, there's nothing wrong with pulling it out multiple times, right? Like, why change your strategy if your execution of it's not as good, right? Like, if you're not as comfortable Muta microing in ZVT, you don't have to go Muta. You can go Lurker first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
so
sure, it doesn't hurt to throw in different strategies or game plans every once in a while, but if you practice one specific strategy or get good at a certain build, just play that one more, right? Especially in matches that are important, like a league match.
Something worth noting: had Gorgo made just one Zealot, he could have really given Fox a hard time, because his SimCity is really not good to micro Zealots against.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's absolutely no gaps that he could abuse.
Yeah, it is a little bit further of a rush distance, so that could be something. And if Terran blocks off, can make a tight wall, then that Zealot finds no damage. So if Terran did opt to go for that kind of a wall, then the Zealot would have been more or less useless. But in this case, yeah, if he had made a Zealot, for sure, he could have found a bit of damage here.
So the SCV for the Terran's still alive, just wandering around the Protoss base. They see the core spinning. Yeah, overall, super standard play.
Yeah. Wonder if he's thinking if that's like a fake again.
I'm not sure if he even thought it was a fake.
Last time, that's true. But now that Terran sees, okay, he should see 3 pylons. He sees the 2 and the third one coming up. When he sees 3 pylons here in the Protoss base at this point in time, he should know, okay, there's no proxies on the map. Nothing fishy is going on.
Yeah.
If there is, then Protoss isn't being very efficient with it, and they're just going to be putting themselves behind. So.
And also the machine shop just finished. He's researching mines first. So this might be in response to getting DT Rush last game. Either that or he wants to do an FD push.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be FD here.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
in
the
that
right number of
case-
Marines, and tank coming out will a Vulture follow up with mines. So I'm not sure. I mean, the rush distance is a little longer, so it's a bit easier to hold against an FD or something. Except, I mean, and you have this high ground too, advantage too. Like if Gorgo has these Dragoons above the ramp, you can just kind of hold there a little bit easier.
Yeah,
But
it depends on the
I don't-
angle the Terran comes from. Because if they come from the third, first, then they're not at that low ground disadvantage.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, going to the third gives Protoss a little bit more time. They'll get
Hold
an
up,
extra Dragoon out.
Gorgo's not taking advantage of the high ground. He's actually moving out to meet these
Well, I mean-
units.
I mean,
So-
this is fine. Oh no, except he's gonna
No,
lose.
it's not
the-
fine.
Oh
It's not
no,
fine. Oh my God, Gorgo.
he lost the Dragoon for free. Oh, that's rough. Because normally
yeah.
against the FD, like you want to be able to micro back against it.
Yeah, so
Kind of what we see doing
yeah,
now. But oh,
if you're
the
not
micro
like
is
good at paying
very
attention to your goons, have a scouting probe instead. So that probe will die when the Terran pushes, and your goons are still safe, right? Like
Yeah.
that would have been much better for him because now
Oh,
he's just 2 goons shorter, and you know, 1 Marine is a little bit bruised, but other than that, he just gave up 2 units.
yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Like losing those 2 Dragoons without doing really any damage.
Yeah, that's.
Oh no, and this Dragoon's gonna die to a couple of mines. Oh no.
Oh, it splashes
Oh,
another goon
no.
too. This is game ending. Seriously.
Oh, this is really unfortunate. He's gonna lose 9 health on that other Dragoon. A nicely executed FD, but like pretty big mistakes here by Gorgo, like losing that goon for free, not microing properly against the FD. Oh no. He's pulling a bunch of probes now.
He does need to be careful.
Oh, he does lose the tank, so
Yep, to the hero
That's, you know,
probes.
he's not gonna die to this now. He's even gonna get to keep the Nexus, but he took a lot of damage. Like Terran's definitely ahead at this point.
This is so worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, because I mean, behind this Terran is able to get their Expo up. He's already mining from the Expo.
Jesus.
Gorgo's just starting to mine, so Terran's ahead economically. Terran has a supply lead. So I mean, already a pretty bad position for Gorgo. I mean, he can still come back and win this. It's not necessarily the end of the game.
Right, like he lived, but he definitely took a lot more damage than he needed to.
Yeah, he's definitely behind in this position. We'll have to see where he goes from here.
And it looks like a pretty standard play, pretty standard follow-up from the Terran. They're going for their armory. They're going to get their +1 attack upgrade, and they're slowly adding on additional factories for what I'm assuming will be a pretty aggressive push in the mid game.
Yeah, we'll see if he adds a 4th or 5th factory. Looks like he's planning to at least add the 4th factory. Or maybe not. Okay, he's retreating the SCV now, so maybe he's just going to go with the 3 factory into an expansion. Oh no, okay, he's adding the 4th factory now. So we could see, definitely see a push here coming out from Terran. Looks like Gorgo's planning to be a little bit aggressive with some of these Dragoons. I guess maybe he wants to try and do some counter damage after taking that damage from the FD. But again, like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Are you okay, Snipe?
No, I'm not okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, from last game we saw the Vultures run around the Dragoons. I thought we were about to see that again, like moving the Dragoons across the map and then just leaving an open path for the Vultures to get in behind them.
That was a really nice hiding of the probe. I mean, he can pull it back now though. Mean vultures are gone. But yeah, good by Gorgo to move it up here because those vultures were definitely hunting.
So yeah, it looks like he is opting for the 3rd fast style or fast 3rd style. It's pretty standard. I mean, it's a pretty good way to play. I do it sometimes.
Yeah,
What I would like to see from Gorgo, though, sorry, is an observer in the Terran's base over the factories to see how many factories he's building, and also to see like if he's making a 3rd CC. Looks like he's actually just going to scout this SCV coming over here to make the 3rd CC. but you want to be like aware of how many factories the Terran has. Because like if the Terran's going for a 5-fact or something, and you're taking that fast third, they can punish you for that. They see, oh, the Terran or the Protoss is taking a fast third. I have 5 factories. He has 3 gateways. Terran can push out and kind of punish the Protoss if they don't delay it or don't prepare well enough. But as it stands, it looks like he's just going to be taking his 3rd CC himself. And possibly get into a little bit longer macro game here.
Yeah, so far, you know, besides that initial action we got with the FD push, the game is kind of normalized a bit. I think both players are just looking to build up their econs, both trying to take their 3rd expansion, or their 3rd base, rather. But yeah, I think in situations like this, it definitely favors the Terran. The more they push it towards late game, you know, the more that Terran army, that 200 max army is going to be a threat. So
yeah, Terran's definitely still ahead at this point. Oh no. And all these vultures are going to get in again.
Holy crap.
Oh, the econ damage.
Yeah, this is insane. This is really bad.
And he's going to lose a couple goons to mines again probably here. Well, he didn't lose any goons, but he did take some more damage.
These are some scary looking mines over here, man.
So, oh, that's unfortunate. So yeah, as Gargo, I would say, get your pylon walls up. I mean, build a couple of buildings in the way to make the choke smaller and make sure you're blocking it. Oh, he's attacking his own nexus.
Where? Oh, I think he stopped.
Okay, there he just stopped. Attacking his own nexus. Yeah, so as Gorgo, you got to be pretty aware of the possibility of vulture harasses like this. Make sure you're building like pylon walls or some kind of wall, like a pylon and a couple gateways or something at your choke, just to make it smaller and harder for vultures to get in. And then just like a couple of dragoons sitting in that area will kind of prevent vultures from getting in and doing all that damage to you, because that's pretty hurtful.
Yeah, well, it seems like this has really, really delayed the Protoss, because Gorgo, he has a Citadel of a Dune, but where's the Stargate? Where's the Templar Archives? There's no Arbiters, and it's already 12 minutes. And he's also 20 supply down from the Terran. So yeah, he's definitely not looking good in the overall macro sense of the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have leg speed done yet. Actually, he doesn't even have any zealots out yet. And he still hasn't started mining from the 3rd. Like, that's been up for a little while. He has a couple probes sitting there, but he hasn't started mining from it.
Definitely a tough spot for Gorgo to be in. It felt like just over and over there's been, you know, he's been getting chipped away at, right? Like little advantages snowballing here and there for the Terran player. He's been able to do a lot of damage with his vultures. It's really quite nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, he actually had that Nexus up before the Terran CC. But he's just now starting to mine it, whereas Terran has already mined like 100-ish minerals from each of those patches. So he's behind. I mean, he's behind in supply, he's behind in economy, he's behind in tech. Yeah, okay, because the Terran has the science facility and the Stargate and Templar Archives just finished.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
no Arbiter Tribunal started yet.
Gorgo is barely mining his 3rd base, dude. There's like 3-4 mineral patches that are just 1500 still, untouched.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, he took a lot of damage from the probes, but he's also, or from the vultures killing his probes, but he's also taking a lot of damage himself, or doing a lot of damage to himself by having poor saturation at these bases. Yeah, he's not making any more probes out of his main.
Honestly, Snipe, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a repeat of last game.
Yeah.
I mean, what's gonna happen when Fox gets 200, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Terran's army's looking strong. He's got his 2-1 on the way, upgrades on the way. His 2 attack looks like it's just about done. Oh no, 1 armor is just about to finish. And attack's about halfway done. Gorgo's trying to take a 4th now. He ended a little bit late 4th, but he kind of got forced into that position. Oh, he actually has 2 Templar Archives too.
Where?
He's 1 at the natural and 1 at his 3rd.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
It's Storm upgrading. He's upgrading Storm. Still no Arbiter Tribunal. he's had that Stargate for quite a while and not using it for anything. So if you're not going to use it, I mean, what's the point of having it kind of deal? Like, I don't want to sound too harsh or too mean, but if you're going to get the Stargate, make sure you're getting the Arbiter or Carrier tech along with it.
Yeah, but actually going off what you said, Snipe, I think, I hope when we're casting and we're trying to point out the mistakes of the players, it's not our intention to be mean or obnoxious at all. It's just,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I guess what we think could have been done a little bit better. But yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's some of these mistakes that we make too. Like I don't know, we make some weird or silly mistakes from time to time too, as A-teamers, and even the top foreigners make mistakes and pros make mistakes. So
yeah,
there's always room to
speaking of mistakes, I think this fourth base is placed a little off as well. For Gorgo. Yeah. He should have a talk with Dark Matter, who is also an A-teamer who is notorious for misplacing his CC.
Or his weird CCs, that's where the term dark CCs, dark CC. Alright. Dark Matter there.
Oh, well, we see Gorgo being pretty active with his goons. He has
I like that, man. It's a good move. I mean, these Dragoons aren't in danger of being killed by anything. So just picking. Don't want to lose the Observer though.
Dude,
just
Fox is
picking up and clearing up
unsieging.
mines. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Gorgo. This is a, really scary army, and 200 army Terran versus Protoss. Terran just wipes that.
Dude, these
without any tech.
These goons are just popping like water balloons, man.
Yeah, it's even blue. Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, without any storms, without any arbiters to stasis or get cloaked, this Terran army is pretty strong, like pretty unstoppable.
Well, and also importantly, Gorgo's army is all over the place. He lost a control group of goons. There's some at the 4th, and I only see zealots right here, man. He has way too many zealots. What?
Yeah, his army is just like everywhere. I would have liked to have seen his army like positioned up on this high ground area above his 3rd, so he could kind of use that to his advantage, right? Like, if the Terran attacks up into that, his army's at the 3rd, and we'll have the advantage of the mischance from Terran going up the ramp.
Well, just the way I see it, Snipe, like, Terran is so OP already, like, with their army clump, right? Their ball. Like, you need to have all your stuff as the Protoss. You need to have all your stuff clumped as well to be able to even stand a chance.
You can have a chance, yeah.
So, and with no Arbiter, this is way too difficult, I think.
Yeah, he's got a lot of zealots here, and there's a lot of tanks, so it's a decent composition. But there's just too much here for the Terran. It's like he just lost. Protoss just lost so much, and Terran still has the most of his tanks here. What's Protoss gonna do?
And also, I think this game, there's also been, just like the previous game, there is an upgrade discrepancy. We have the 1-1-0-1 for Protoss, and 2-1 for Terran, which can make a pretty big deal.
I know that's something I sometimes often have trouble with in my PVTs is for getting upgrades. I think first week I had a PVT, I had that macro boy. Gorgo giving him some props. I was gonna say first week I had like 0-0 on all my units.
It was
throughout
not
the
bad.
whole game.
So
bit unfortunate, but yeah.
Well, to be honest, judging from this game, I would have no trouble going out there and saying that Fox is definitely one of the better, maybe one of the best B-teamer Terrans in the league right now. So it's not something to be too sad about to lose to him, because he played very strong in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he could take games off of half of the people playing in the A teams. Yeah, definitely a really strong player and nothing to feel bad about.
Yeah, definitely some key things Gorgo should be looking at, working on improving, like being aware of vulture run bys and being prepared to block for those. And if you're going to commit to some kind of a build like the DTs, make sure you know how what you want to do with it, what you want to accomplish with that kind of a build. But a bit unfortunate. Yeah, these are probably our 2 longest games still. Well played by both players. GG's.
Yes, and with that, I think that finishes up all the casts that we are gonna do today.
Yeah, we had 4 2-0s.
Yeah. So pretty decisive games once again.